welcome back to an episode of Kieta Knits. I'm Kieta from I Really Like That on Instagram, if you want to take a peek there. This is a podcast, YouTube, where I talk about all things knitting, what I'm knitting on, what I'm spinning on, and my life, really. Just a little updates once in a while. I'm pretty much knitting all the time when I'm not taking care of my 15-month-old. She's been very active lately, and I'm just chasing around everywhere, and my husband and I are having such a good time with this age. She's just so funny, and she's getting sassy, and she's throwing tantrums, and she's just, you know, the light of our life. We'll get started here. I am wearing today my Liminal shawl by Andrea Mowry. It has a bunch of nups in it and lots of brioche, and I used I think it's like beyul DK. I used the recommended yarn, and I used the exact same color because I was like, it'll bring out my eye color, which, I mean, look at that, it really does. Could you hear that? The thing is, I feel like I don't grab for it enough, but it's like, it has yak in it, so it's squishy. It's really delightful. And it has this picot edging. The nups, I remember, okay, so this shawl has been through it. I knit it in 2022. It was one of the first things. I got it for Christmas. My mom got me the kit. And in February, David and I got pregnant with Birdie. And I had started this, but I had not finished it. And when I was pregnant, I did not want to knit at all. I barely wanted to, like, survive. I was vomiting all the time, pretty much throughout my whole pregnancy. I was nauseous. I was nauseous through my whole pregnancy. And there was like a certain time of the day where I just needed to go to bed because I was so nauseous. And if I didn't sleep, I was just going to be miserable all evening. Anyway, just to tell you that on my worst day, I wore this shawl. And my husband had planned to go see Letterkenny, and we were going to go watch it live. And I was at the theater, and this shawl got me through because I was so embarrassed because I could not stop vomiting. And I had like a Ziploc baggie, and I was like, you know, calling dinosaurs. I'm sure you guys want to hear about that. But this, I remember it got a lot of love, and it protected me, and I was very proud to finish it because these nups, imagine when you get to the big part of this shawl and you're doing nups every other. That's insane. That's so many nups. Wow, I have so much patience. I'm just kidding. Anyway, I love this shawl. I wish I gravitated to it more. I wonder if it were a different color, if I would. But yeah, love it. It is so like squishy. I highly recommend making this, and it's really good to learn brioche if you've never done brioche before, because there's just little bits, which is another reason it took forever. Nups and brioche, man. I was happy to get to the garter stitch. Anyway, that's what I'm wearing. I am actually working on another shawl right now. I've told you guys about this. It's the Pressed Flowers shawl by Amy Christoffers. And I am knitting it in part of the I Can Buy Myself Flowers knit along with Young Folk Knits and Designed by So and So, Casey, and then I always forget her name. Not always, but all the time I go on to do this. Is it Ashley? I don't know them by first name basis, so I don't know why I'm talking like I do. Anyway, I have met Casey and Becky, and they're the cutest. I met them at Rhinebeck, which is so fun. Rhinebeck. This is my pressed flower shawl. I was initially going to use Juicy DK, Farmer's Daughter, I believe. It's a weird name. Let me see if I have the colorway. I was initially going to use this, if you don't remember. But the contrast between the green and this was just... Sorry, my lighting is really bad right now because it's a gloomy day in Chicagoland. My contrast just wasn't enough with this. And now I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I've never used the Farmer's Daughter's fibers before except in my... Well, that's not true. I made a Ghost Whisperer top out of their Odang, and I'm also knitting with their sock yarn right now, which I love. So I'm kind of torn between, do I want to keep this? Or do I want to do like a giveaway? Do I want to sell it? Does anyone want a giveaway though when it's caked? So I maybe prematurely cake that. Anyway, so these are the colors that I used for my my halibut sweater by Boylan Knitworks or Caitlin Hunter. Which do I have round? It's a fish. Most people can't tell that's a fish, like the layperson, which is weird. I thought about ripping back this yarn because I never wear this. The fit is just, I cannot figure out Caitlin Hunter, like my gauge with Caitlin Hunter's designs. Every time I lift my arms up, the shirt goes up. I had to knit the arms twice because they were too tight. I think I did end up going down a needle size in this, which my gauge told me that would be the correct size, but it's not. Anyway, I love these colors together, and I was like, I have leftover yarn. I bought one more skein of this because I had a skein left, and I was like, why don't I do this? Because it's definitely my colors. I posted on my Instagram recently that I seem to gravitate towards like this army green, maroon, brown colors. Like if you looked in my closet, you'd be like, yeah girl, you sure do. Maybe I'll put in a little snippet of me wearing all those colors. It's just what I gravitate towards. So Birdie and I, we went to the store. Birdie and Mommy are headed to Woolen Co, Mommy's favorite place. I don't know if you watch my Instagram stories, but I tried to pair my Farmer's Daughter with the Scout, and there was not enough contrast in the color work. My friend Haley Hodge from Converse, who's a great designer and beautiful knitter, you guys need to check out her work. She was like, you know what you need to do is put that on like a black and white photo editing, and then you can tell the contrast color. And I was like really discouraged. I was like, I'm not gonna do the pressed flower shawl. I don't even feel like knitting right now, blah, blah, blah. And then that night, because I couldn't find anything in my stash that contrasted the Scout that I had planned on using. And then that night, I was in bed and I was like, you know what would be nice? I don't know if you guys seen my halibut sweater by Boyland Knitworks
on Illinois 38 west for 5 miles.
But I have like a maroon and green that I also use the Scout Kelbourne Woolens yarn for. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen a shawl, a pressed flower shawl with this maroon.
And I mean, I'm obviously obsessed with like maroon. I mean, I made my whole sweater maroon. I just like these dark earthy colors like maroon, like dark green, and I always kind of gravitate towards maroon no matter how many times I like go away from it. But like one of my favorite cows from Pearl Soho is maroon.
But anyway, I just got so excited I couldn't even sleep. I was like, I need to wake up and do this. I need to get up early. I did not get up early. I'm not a morning person. And I need to start knitting this. And then the next day I got up at my normal time and I started knitting it, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I'm on my way to pick up 2 more skeins of this Kelbourne Woolens because I only have like half a skein from my sweater left, and I just know that's not going to be enough. I'll probably have leftover again, the same amount. It's like when you try to use your stash and then you just have to buy more. Ugh! Isn't that annoying? You're trying to be like virtuous. Just kidding. But yeah, so that's where we're going. I will take more video because I know I just had a little snippet of the last time. And while I was at the store, I got some items. Imagine that. Which I will talk about in a second, but I did want to talk about what else I'm knitting on, and that's the totally tessellated socks, which I've shown you guys before. And mid-row it appears. I did put in some lines. I don't know. I put in some lines for the afterthought heel. I can't remember what they're called right now. It doesn't really look like I got much farther than I did. But here they are, my tessellated socks. I feel like they're really wide, but when I try them on, they seem to fit around my ankle just fine. But they're wide because I initially was going to make them for my dad, and I was like, I mean, he doesn't really have wide feet, but I also went down a needle size because I didn't have the recommended needles, and my gauge swatch ended up being fine. But I thought if they're a little bit smaller because I went down a needle size, then maybe it couldn't hurt to go up in size. So we'll see when it's actually around my foot. Maybe it'll be more like a slipper. I'm not entirely sure. So that's what I'm working on now. I want to get my shawl done by January 31st, and I'm hoping to get a good majority of it done by next week. And then I'm going to focus on getting these totally tessellated socks done because I'm tired of mosaic knitting. This pressed flower shawl is mosaic knitting, these tessellated socks, mosaic knitting, and I'm ready to move on. So, yes, that is what I'm working on. Works in progress. Next, I'm going to show you my last knit of 2024. Very, very exciting. It was my Lourve sweater. I had started it last February, and the Lourve sweater is by Petite Knit, if I didn't mention that, but I had started it last February, and I was just ready to get it off my needles. It was kind of one of those projects that I was bored, and I was interested in knitting other things, but honestly, I shouldn't really have been that bored because, like, it's such a good sweater. Well, I'm not saying that I shouldn't have been bored, but I should have gotten it off my needles faster so I could have worn it. Anyway, we're in the midst of winter, and it's been a pretty mild winter here, so I don't know what I'm saying. This is my Lourve sweater. It's so pretty. I'll try it on for you guys. I used Scout by Kelbourne Woolens, which seems to be my go-to. My pressed flower shawl is in Scout as well, which is another reason I was kind of hesitant to go for this same, you know, like I just finished this, you know, and I was using Scout, and now I'm doing something else and using Scout. Sometimes it's nice to just like try it out and try different yarns out and stuff like that. Anyway, this is my sweater. I do a little French tuck with it because it's a little bit longer than I normally wear, but it looks so good. It's perfect color. The only thing is this, and maybe I knitted this too long. I've tried to like flip it over, but it's a little bit too short to do that, but I don't know why it's doing that. Doesn't look bad flipped over though. Maybe it's how I blocked it. I was trying to look and see. Oh, there you go. Maybe I need to tuck it under. I was trying to look and see on like Ravelry to see if other people did that, and I saw a few. But look at that. Maybe it's just a little too long. I could always sew it down. I think I like it better like this, actually. Anyway, it's so comfy, cozy, lots of ribbing. This is like a 5.5-inch ribbing. It's just long enough where, you know, you can kind of tuck it in, and it's just a very classic knit. It's beautiful. I know I'm gonna reach for it all the time. And this is a really pretty soft yarn. I'm able to wear it without like a shirt underneath of it for the most part. Not that one though. I think it's just a little too small. So I think I might give it away. My halibut sweater. Maybe one of my sisters will take it. Although they're not really tolerant of anything even slightly itchy. So we'll see. Maybe they'll watch this and probably like, I'll take it. That's what I got last time. I want that. I want that. I want that. Anyway, so this is my finished object. I finished Bestie bags. I finished the one with denim that went to my stepsister. I'll post a photo right here. Voila, my daughter is showing it off for us. And what else did I finish? Well, I finished my sister Juliana's brown bag. I put a strap on it. It turned out really nice. I did the Bible cover and I sent it to Colorado so my sister can embroider it. And hopefully I can get some pictures of that up there. Wow, I'm really thinking I should sew this. That looks nice. Okay, distracted. I might have ADHD. I'm not sure. Okay, so we'll just keep this on for the rest of the program here. My goals. What did I buy from Woolen Co when I went? So I bought extra yarn. Scout, Kelbourne Woolens. There was only 2 left. Lucky me. So soft. There was a lady that I was checking out with, and she goes, have you worked with this before? It's so soft. And I was like, yes, I have. That's why I'm buying more. More of the same color. Maroon, maroon, maroon. Maroon, maroon, maroon. Yes. So it'll probably be a second before I get to my boucle sweater because that's maroon, and I think I'll be marooned out. Maybe, maybe not. So I bought more of that. And then my plan this year is to knit cardigans for myself. And that is because David and I plan to get pregnant again, hopefully around the summertime. And I felt that when I was pregnant, I couldn't wear any of my knitwear. And then afterwards, I felt like I couldn't really wear it either because, you know, your boobs get huge, you're uncomfortable in your body, and the last thing I want is a sweatshirt that's too tight and stuff like that. So cardigans are my goal this year. If you see me not knitting a cardigan, it better be for my husband because I need to finish his sweater, which I'll talk about in a second. But I am going to knit the Biches number 2 cardigan by Astrid Troland. And when I saw this yarn at Woolen Co, I thought this is perfect. Look at that, it's like a golden brown. That's my goal this year too, is just to use more neutrals, more things that I'm going to gravitate towards. I think last year I went a little like, I need neon because everyone was into the neon and stuff, but that's not really, I was just looking at my neons in Neutralsburg, but that's not really what I normally gravitate towards. So we're going to stick to the neutrals this year, y'all. Sticking to the neutrals, and we're gonna knit cardigans. This is gonna be so cute. I've had this in my queue forever since I saw it on their page. This is Rauma Garn by Finful. I think it's a yarn from Norway because it says Norsk. Norwegian, Norway. Norsk, Vikings, I don't know. It's got a texture like Jameson yarn, which it'll probably be rough, but that's why it's gonna be a cardigan. I'm gonna just throw it on. I'm gonna have something underneath, so it's not gonna matter, you know? Anyway, lots of these, lots of little cardigans, and it's fingering weight, so it'll probably take me forever, but I'm gonna get it done in a month. It looks like, so the whole portion, I'll show a picture, but it's lacework up top, and then it looks like you got those wide sleeves, and they come down, but it doesn't look like they go all the way down here. But I guess you can knit it to wherever you want. But I like something shorter because I have a child, and I don't want to get stuff all over my cardigan. My other goal this year is to knit the Heirloom Quilt Cardigan with some of my scrap yarn. I have no idea what colors. I do know that I like colors that are more, from the ones that I saw, that are more like, look like a true grandma quilt thing. So nothing neon like I was talking about, more neutrals, more of those dark reds, probably something similar to, if I have leftover this, I'll put a maroon in it, stuff like that. Yeah. And then, oh, I should have talked about this in the works in progress. Maybe I can move it over. Anyway, my goal this year as well is to finish my husband's sweater. I don't know when I started this, but I can't seem to get to the sleeves. It is double seed stitch. So let's see, I got these cute stitch markers on there. Aren't they the cutest? Anyway, I think this is how it would be. Yeah. So this is the Jaden sweater by Isabell Kraemer. It's double seed stitch raglan. And I'm using fisherman's wool from Lion brand. In this sweater, there's little patches on the elbow, and I'm going to use the brown color, like the chocolate color of the fisherman's wool for the brown patches, and I think it'll be really great. However, I'm very bored knitting it because it is kind of like ribbing. Sometimes ribbing just doesn't feel good on the hands. I don't know. I would say my favorite kind of work is lace work and cabling, although I haven't cabled in a while. But the texture is really nice, and it's going to be really soft, and he deserves a sweater. I made him a for Fox sake sweater. Bad. I used superwash, and you know it's color work. It was bad. It was bad. It's so heavy. He wears it like outside to do yard work and stuff, but This is going to be a classic. I know he'll really like this. I know I said I want to do the Pluma twist for the knit along, for pom-pom knit along. However, I know, right? So bad. I mean, I have the yarn for it. It'd be perfect. But is it something that I'm going to grab? I really want to be intentional about my knitting this year. Is that something that I'm going to grab in my closet and wear it all the time? Probably not, because it's mohair and I'm going to be scared that it's going to catch on something and like rip. And I think it'll also be kind of hard on my hands. So I'm trying to decide, am I going to still do that, or am I going to use this Lobby Enemy for something else? It's so pretty. And I do think actually it's a nice color. I feel like when I was in high school, I had a blush like this, and I would just put blush. It was actually an eyeshadow, and I just put it as blush, and it was really nice. So I think it's a nice color for me. I just have to figure out, is that the project I want to do for it? Not entirely sure. We will see. Okay. So the other thing that I have planned for this, like the next 2 months, is February. I want to get done a baby blanket for one of my friends who is pregnant and her baby is coming in May. So I want to finish the Vertices Unite baby blanket by Stephen West. I saw pictures of it and it just looks so cute, and I'm really excited. I don't know the colors, but I will show them to you when I have it all planned out. I think she's going for like a light room with like just the light green colors. So she's having a baby boy. So I want to try to match it to the room, and I want her to get pictures in it, hopefully. You know, like, she's definitely knit worthy, and it's cute because before I came pregnant the first time, she had a bunch of nephews who she wanted to crochet a blanket for, and so I was showing her how to crochet. I don't think she finished her blankets, but because I started that, was able to finish the blanket for Birdie, and it was I took her home in it, so very special. I'm gonna start crying. Anyway, I would be happy to make her a blanket because she deserves it, and so does her cute little baby, I know. Anyway, can you tell I'm like PMSing? Anyway, so my goals this year, I just want to reiterate them. I'm going to make cardigans. I'm going to finish my husband's sweater. And my third goal is to knit 6 socks in a year. Because I have these socks. I'll put up a picture. I have these socks and I wear them. Anytime I wash them, they're the first things I grab to wear. Because I don't know. I want to be a sock knitter, okay? Guys, let me be a sock knitter. They're just the one things that I gravitate to, and I was watching those twins that knit, and they knitted so many pretty socks, and I was like, I want socks. I want to knit pretty socks. So my goal is 6 socks this year, finish one big item a month, and aka cardigans, shawls, and then my husband's sweater. And then I want to spin. My spinning goal is a little bit more lax than my other stuff because I just started it. But I try to get that, that 15 minutes of spinning that Andrea Mowry has going on with a couple of other people. I'm not entirely sure. But I am finishing up the braid that I was working on. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. It has a lot of purples and blues in it at this point. I did feel like I was getting heavy on here, and I don't have bobbins, and I was watching a YouTube video that said that you could go ahead and ply it and then wash it and whatnot. So I just wanted to show you the last bit that I made. It's definitely my colors. You guys are gonna laugh because maroon, brown, and green are the colors in it, which I'm just attracted to. I plied it, washed it, and now I have this small little cake. Okay, let me hide. Oh, there we go. I mean, I'm obviously a novice, but that's probably a worsted weight or bulky. Oh, there we go. Worsted weight or bulky, I would say. Probably between all of those. But I don't think that's so bad for my first little, it's so cute. It's 25 grams. What can I make with 25 grams? I think it's like 60 something meters. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a pot holder. Anyway, okay. What else do I got? I think that's really it. Just my goals. Oh, my other goal is to get a knitting video up every 2 weeks, so all of you guys can keep me accountable with my goals. Anyway, Anyway, have a happy new year. I hope you get to do all the things you want to this year and you make your goals happen. I'm like shaking the table. Oh, get the new year goals. And just have a good week. Have a good week. Have a good week.